So the gospel is something that I think we can relate to. Have you ever had that experience of you want something and you do something really quick before everyone else has the opportunity to get that thing? And sometimes I think of this like, have you ever taken, let's say, like a cookie and you didn't want anyone else to have it, so you do the quick lick? Have you ever done that before? No? Okay, you've done, okay, I've done it before. I mean, I haven't done it for a while. I think I did it yesterday, no, just kidding. But, like when we're little, and it's like, I want that chocolate cookie, but my brothers or sisters might get it before me, so I'm just gonna go, and then no one's gonna have it, right? Because I licked it, and so it's like, it's mine. That's kind of what James and John are doing today. And what's funny is they don't hear what Jesus just told them. Have you ever sort of heard someone's like words coming out of their mouth, but you aren't really listening to them? And you're kind of like, okay, and then you just kind of forget about what they said. Like Jesus is saying here, guys, I'm gonna go up, and the chief priests and the scribes are gonna condemn me to death. They're gonna mock me, they're gonna spit upon me, they're going to whip me, and they're gonna kill me. But after 3 days, I'm gonna rise. I mean, doesn't that seem really clear? Imagine if we were there. Jesus is saying, I'm going to die, and then I'm going to rise. And we might think to ourselves, well, of course I'm gonna hear that, but even these guys who were with him for 3 years, they knew him better than us. I mean, they walked with him, they talked with him, and yet they didn't listen to what he actually said because their heart wasn't open yet. The Holy Spirit hadn't come into their heart to open their eyes, to open their heart, to really hear Jesus. And so they were just kind of thinking about, what are they going to get? They wanted that cookie. And for them, the cookie was, I want to be powerful. Because they thought that Jesus was going to be like a super warrior king. Think of him like as he was going to be like a super Avenger or so. He was like the Incredible Hulk or Captain America or like this like super powerful guy, and he was going to just defeat all the enemies. He was going to pull out his lightsaber and just battle and destroy everybody. And they're like, whoa, you're going to be that warrior king? I want you to give me power. I want to be the guy right next to you, on your right or on your left, so that everyone can look at me and say, wow, look how special I am that I'm that close to the warrior king. And yet, that's not the way that Jesus beat Satan, right? He actually did that through a totally unexpected way, dying on the cross and then rising from the dead. And James and John missed that because James and John, again, are just thinking about themselves at this moment. And yet, what's really interesting is the Lord still takes that desire, even though it was going the wrong way, and he's going to take that desire and put it in the right way. And that's something that's important here too, where Jesus is like, you don't know what you're asking. Can you drink from the chalice that I drink? That means, are you willing to go where I'm going to go, which means to suffer and die? And they say we can, thinking they don't really know what they're saying. And Jesus says, well, that is going to happen. But you're missing what real power is like, what real greatness is like. Because then after those two kind of licked the cookie first, all the other 10 apostles, remember there's 12 of them, the 10 apostles, they get mad at James and John because they didn't think of it first. They're like, man, I should have licked the cookie first. So now they're mad at James and John. So then Jesus says, all right, guys, come here. Lesson time. Have you ever had this maybe in class where you guys are kind of going bonkers and your teacher just needs to be like, all right, let's all sit down. Learning lesson right now. Has that ever happened before? Yeah, okay. Did it happen like today, maybe? No? Okay, maybe yesterday. Okay. So it's learning lesson right now. Jesus is taking them together and saying, guys, because they're all like yelling at each other, they're getting mad, saying, that's not fair. And he's like, guys, I know that you see the way that people in our world act when they have power. They make their authority felt. They show how powerful they are, but it's going to be different with you guys. Because you got to learn from me, is what Jesus is saying. And I came not to be served, not to just sit there and say, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. But I actually came to serve others, to actually give my life as a ransom for many. And he's teaching the apostles in this moment how to be great. And the way to be great is to always think about others, to serve others, to make sure that we're not serving ourselves, but we think about how can I take care of the person next to me? And wouldn't that be a beautiful thing in the midst of our class? So think about these final days of third grade, and then you have a whole summer to prepare with your family as you get ready for fourth grade. But think about this question. God put a desire to be great in my heart, but that greatness will only come if I serve others. If I give of myself versus being selfish. When you do that, when you look around and maybe there's someone who wants to play on the playground, you give them a turn first. Or your little brother wants to play this particular game and you want to do something else, but you make sure that you serve them first. Or you really, really want to play your video games, but mom and dad are saying, it's time to clean your room first. Whenever you kind of stop, and if you feel that battle, kind of say, am I serving myself? Or am I serving others? Because when you do that, you're serving God. And that's how you become great. So you have the summer to practice on your family. You have a couple days to practice on your class. But get ready for fourth grade and be great as Jesus wants you to be great.